What's going on, Raiders? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about the all-new free legendary Lemonissi, the Gold Wing. And this is going to be a character you're going to be getting for 100% free just for logging in to raid Shadow Legends. And another way to get a bunch of free legendaries is going to be clicking that download link in the description below or scanning that QR code. You're going to be starting off with Eleanor, who's a legendary nuker with HP Burns and HP Poisons. At level 10, you're going to be getting Tagore, who's an epic support character, really good. Level 20, you're going to be getting Ugo, another epic support. And then at level 30, you're going to be getting Mausoleum Mage, who's another epic support character. Then day one, you want to make sure you're typing in promo code Monkey King, which expires at the end of June. So make sure you start a new account or your first account now, because you're not going to want to miss out on Sun Wukong. He is absolutely amazing. And if you're on iOS, make sure you click the link in the description to type in any sort of promo codes. And now, instead of just getting 5 characters to start, 2 legendaries, 3 epics courtesy of me, you can get an extra legendary courtesy of Raid Shadow Legends in Lemonissi, the Goldwing, who's going to be part of the Sylvan Watchers, a Force character, 4 stars as per Hell Hades, which they are very good about giving very accurate rankings on characters. And I use this as kind of my Bible on who to build and who to skip. And it has been extremely helpful. I cannot say enough good things about this website. It's absolutely amazing. You can literally do anything on this website. It's awesome. So let's go over Lemonissi, the Goldwing. So like I said, part of the Sylvan Watchers, and is going to be a pretty good character, honestly. Some pretty niche uses when it comes to shields. Also getting a little bit of bonuses against the Corrupted Alliance, which also is the same thing that I think Foulbeard had, Tholen, who's going to be the next fusion character. So pretty interesting. They're doing 2 things regarding the Corrupted Alliance. I'm assuming that's lore and story related that I do not follow because I don't have the brain capacity for it, but that's neither here nor there. And then we have the ratings here. So nothing too crazy, but still just solid across the board. So okay in Hydra, 3.5, 3 in Waves, 4 in Chimera, 4.5 in Amius, 4 in Spider, 4.5 in Fire Knight. Average in hard mode, so nothing too crazy in hard mode, but pretty good in dungeons all around. Just a pretty slightly above average score everywhere except for Iron Twins and Sand Devil, but everywhere, you know, Shogun, Ice Golem, Dragon, Fire Knight, Spider, pretty good. Doom Tower, again, pretty slightly above average in everywhere. So a pretty good jack of all trades, it seems, in most everywhere in the game, which is great for new players. And this is a great reason to start the game now, because you're going to be able to get a nice jack of all trades on top of the 4 characters that you're getting for free because of my download link, on top of getting Sun Wukong, who's an S tier legendary. So starting off with 6 characters right away is pretty insane. It's something I wish I had when I first started this game, but hey, it's fine. I'm not jealous. I'm a little jealous. So the aura is increases ally attack in all battles by 25%. Not a fan of this. 25% is not great. We have a couple characters in game. Like I have Alice, who has it at 30%. I have Supreme Gaelic, who's got it at 33%. So not a big fan that it's only 25%. A little bit odd that it is, but that's neither here nor there. 5% in the early game is not much, so that's still great to have. The A1 Oric Talons attack 1 enemy 2 times. If the target is under a shield buff, each hit has a 25% chance of decreasing the value of the shield by 10%. This will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. If the target is not under any shield buffs, each hit will ignore 10% of the defense instead. So a little bit of ignoring defense here, which is pretty great. I really like that. It also has the book down to an extra 10% and an extra 15% chance of the debuff, which is not bad at all. It's not too crazy. It's decent damage. I'm curious to see the damage multipliers on this to see if this really shreds through shields. This reminds me of like the Magic Keep dungeon where there's a big shield, so that could be pretty helpful there. So maybe it is useful there. That'd be pretty cool. Next up, intercept the threat, 5-turn, book down to a 3-turn cooldown. This is the A2. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. Again, another call out to the Corrupted Alliance. This skill deals more damage equal to the value of the target's current turn meter. Stacks up to 100%. So that's really interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm curious if there is something like that in the game. I think that is absolutely fascinating that that's actually a mechanic in the game. I think that's super, super cool. So really interesting. If the higher turn meter they have, the more damage you're going to do, up to 100%, which is really, really interesting. You could essentially double the damage if you're able to get it in right at the perfect amount of time. And like I said, book down to a 3-turn cooldown is really good. So not bad at all. Removing those random buffs as well. And then if they're from the Corrupted Alliance, that extra 50% target, ignoring 50% of the target's resistance. So this is a nuke button, especially if they have high turn meter. That's really, really strong. I'm interested to see what the damage multipliers on that would be, because I could see this just being an absolute one-shot if you're just barely going faster than somebody else. Now, for the A3, Venerated Warrior, 4-turn cooldown, book down to a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. That's really nice to have. The second hit has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. So again, that Corrupted Alliance call out. Now, what is nice is when you book it, you will get a 100% chance of placing that heal reduction because it goes from 75 to 100 because that's math. And then the second hit has the 50% going up to a 75% chance. So this is pretty good in Hydra. This is not bad at all here. The A2 would also be good in Hydra because I think there's shields in Hydra, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't gotten too far in Hydra yet. That's something I definitely need to work on, is a good Hydra team, and I'm hoping I could do that with some of the support characters that I pulled from my Sacred Shard opening on my main channel. So I hope that it does help me out, and then I can start getting better at Hydra, because I feel like I am just terrible in there. I take like 5 turns and then I just get deleted. So Scourge of Evil, the passive, receives 15% less damage from enemies under heal reduction debuffs, fills the champion's turn meter by 5% whenever the enemy receives a shield buff or is healed, which is interesting. So the heal reduction is coming from the A3, obviously, and then you're also filling this champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy receives a shield buff or is healed. So I'm curious to see the arena play here, if they have that shield buff on spawn, or if they're getting shields from somebody and it's just a massive turn meter boost. That's interesting to see how that could work. Also in, obviously, the dungeons where there's getting shields, that's obviously a great mechanic, is getting that extra turn meter. So not too bad there. I actually really like the passive. And then the recommended blessings are going to be Nature Wrath and then Crushing Rend at 5 to 6. And then the recommended PvE stats are going to be crit rate, crit damage, speed, attack percent, accuracy. Same thing in PvP. The recommended PvE artifact sets are going to be Savage or Lethal. Mirthalith. I'm sounding like, what's his face? The boxer. I can't think of his name. It's too early in the morning when I'm recording. Whatever. If you know his name, put it in the comment section below. I can't think of his name. That poor guy. All right, Merciless, Cruel, or Perception. And we do have a lot of Perception gear coming from that event dungeon soon, which I am absolutely going to... Or is it Perception or Pinpoint? I can't remember. Also, leave another comment down below. Let me know. And then PvE artifact sets are going to be Stone Skin. Wow, I really can't speak. Stone Skin, Savage Lethal, Merciless, Pinpoint, or Feral, which definitely makes sense. Super easy way to build a damage dealer. Crit rate, crit damage, speed, attack percent, which is a little interesting, and then obviously accuracy to land those debuffs. So overall, not a bad character, honestly. Does seem like a very good character for early game. especially for people that need a character, a legendary, a character that can do damage and is good in multiple game modes. So this can be a really good early to mid-game jack of all trades for you that can really, really propel your progress into later game. So if you are just about to start a Raid Shadow Legends account, or you've been on the fence of starting a new one or starting your first one, whatever it is, there's the best way to start. You're going to be getting Lemonissi, the Gold Wing, for free just for playing the game this month. And then you can use my download link to make sure you're getting Eleanor, Tagore, Ugo, Mausoleum Mage, and then promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong. And that one ends at the end of June. And I promise you, I cannot stress this enough, you do not want to miss Sun Wukong as your starter legendary because he is absolutely insane. So you're going to be getting, what is that, a total of 3 legendaries, 3 epics, the best way to start Raid Shadow Legends ever before. So make sure you guys are doing it. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.